Hello everyone, my name is Mustafa. I'm an associate professor at Ufa University of Science and Technology, Institute of Law, and also legal counsel. Welcome to my channel, Mustafa Maritime Law Hub, where I'm planning to tell you about everything you need to know regarding maritime industry and issue, from basics to advanced concepts. Whether you are a student or a professional or just someone interested in understanding maritime law better, you've come to the right place. So, let's dive in and explore the fascinating world of maritime law together. Today, I'm going to talk about this important topic, maritime law, and I want to tell you about the basic information here that you need to know. Approximately around 80 to 90% of international trade by volume is carried out by sea. So, you see, this large quantity of transportation at sea shows the significance and importance of maritime law, because for managing and controlling and also regulating this transportation and also this situation and the relationships between the main actors here, so we need body of law, we need some regulations. That here we see maritime law. What is maritime law? When we speak about the sea, speak about maritime issues, definitely we have maritime law. In fact, maritime law is body of laws that sometimes maybe you hear this name, admiralty law is another name for maritime law, maybe some differences, but I don't want to speak about such differences here. But maritime law is part of laws or the body of laws that we see them under private law and is governing on shipping and navigation and maritime issues or maritime industry. In simple words, I want to say the maritime law is maritime commerce or commercial law at sea. And we need to manage and regulate all the relationships between the private actors, private sectors at sea regarding the commerce and trade. Here, I need to add something because sometimes maybe we are mistaken about these concepts, maritime law and law of the sea. Why? Because when we speak of maritime law, it's under private law and it's related to commercial law at sea and between private sectors regarding shipping, navigation and maritime issues here. But when we speak about the law of the sea, it's body of laws between the international actors regarding the oceans and seas. I mean, between the states, for example, between the organizations and the issue regarding the sea and also ocean, like the maritime areas, internal water, territorial sea, and also high sea, and so on. For example, exploration of the natural resources of continental shelf, and all of them are the issues under law of the sea, under public international law. So this part is part of public sectors, part that we analyze and manage the relationship between international actors like states, like multinational companies, like organizations. But on the other hand, maritime law under private law and also the private sectors, and in one word, we see them under the commercial law at sea. Sources of maritime law here, not only we see the international conventions, international treaties like MARPOL, like SOLAS, like UNCLOS, but on the other hand, we see national rules, codes, decree of laws, and regulations under the special jurisdictions. These are two main sources, but as well we have customary international law, and also we see the case law under some special jurisdiction maybe are so important, like common law, that based on the case law we see many of the new cases. So here we have 4 sources for maritime law. And also jurisdiction in maritime law. When we speak about the jurisdiction, we need to see some situations that, for example, related to flag state or related to coastal state. And here I need to tell you about the linkage between the maritime law and also law of the sea here, because when we see ship at internal waters or at territorial sea, so this part of the sea is related to coastal state, for example. But when we see this ship at high sea, the high sea is not part of the jurisdiction or under jurisdiction of the coastal state, so everything is related to the flag state. And here only I tell you about the general issues, and also here we need to know more about the law of the sea, because maritime boundaries, maritime areas, as I told you, are under the UNCLOS, United Nations Convention Law of the Sea, and we have the definitions for every area under this convention, and we need to know about them, because not only the maritime law is related to private sectors and private issues and the relationship between the private sectors, but sometimes we need to know about these public issues under the law of the sea to analyze the situation, to know what kind of regulations and codes we can apply here and use at this area. And key areas of maritime law, in fact, I told you about the commercial law at sea, because the maritime law is commercial law at sea. And here we see shipping and navigation related to this commerce, this kind of commerce, and also the environmental issues here, protection regarding the environment at sea, and also we see the maritime insurance and liabilities, cargo and bill of lading, many of the maritime contracts here, like child parties, and also here you see salvage and rescue that are so important. Here I don't speak about the details because I will tell you, so don't worry about that. Flag state and port state control is another thing we need to analyze because we see some special regulations based on the special conditions and special areas, and we need to know about them under maritime law and maritime disputes. So definitely when we have such relations between the private sectors, we have many of the maritime contracts here, many of the individuals that they are involved in, and we see many of the, for example, flag states and coastal states, port state, and we see all these actors that they are related to maritime issues. So definitely we have some disputes as well. For example, parties to maritime contracts, or between the captain and seafarers, or between the owner of the ship and flag states. You see many of the disputes, and these disputes can be settled by arbitration centers. Right now we have many active maritime arbitration centers in the world, and they are settling these disputes, and also sometimes domestic courts that they are trying to solve the maritime issues under the jurisdiction. And also recent trends and challenges we have here as well. What kind of challenges? Climate change and the pollution regarding to the navigation and shipping, or maybe some new technologies like using AI for controlling the ports, for controlling the ships, and safety and security at sea, and also environmental protections. These are new, not new in all the aspects, but the current issues related to maritime law. And at the end, I want to tell you maritime law is so important, because if we have approximately around 80 to 90% of international trade by volume. So we need body of law to manage and regulate these relations between private sectors and regarding the commercial issues and commercial law at sea. And we need this maritime law. Thank you so much. And also, again, I want to tell you I have many information for you regarding the maritime law. So please stay here, and see you soon. Bye.